People, deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. Like I said, welcome back. I hope you're doing good on this Sunday afternoon, people. Arsenal won, Fulham won, Arsenal won. Please make sure you hit them like buttons. And let's get straight into it, people. And I think this game sums up 98 of our games this season, 98% of our fan base, because you'll either find positives where there is none, you either find unnecessary negatives, you either focus on what the team did or didn't do, you either focus on VAR playing a part. I'm not saying anybody's right, I'm not saying anybody's wrong. All I can do is offer my opinions. And I think it sums up our season. Inability to start and finish games well, play well in little periods, inability to remain switched on. And like we saw in the Europa League against even Benfica, when you're not doing the things right, we have brain farts, what leads to the penalty. Obviously, VAR has done Gabriel very dirty there, but these are the same themes. These are the same things that's happening from a tactical point of view. Obviously, we've been inconsistent or consistently inconsistent in everything. I do think the manager got a lot wrong today, but I do think it just sums up our whole season. You know, we can't, from a tactical point of view, an inability to break down low blocks or any sort of defensive unit or anybody that can half defend consistently. Yeah, second half we was about. Again, there's another game which highlighted, you know, even if Saka was poor today, let's have it right. So was Smith Rowe. Martinelli was a bit better than them, but was poor. We're still relying on these young players, you know. Eddie and Nketiah, if we look at the fact of he's come straight off the bench, I'm not getting at Eddie at all. He's a young man. He scored a goal. He hasn't been playing. But I just think, you know, there's shades of the Bournemouth draw. You know, it sums up the mentality of this football club that we're celebrating, scoring in the 8th minute of the 7 added on against Fulham, where the game should have been put to bed. You know, it's a game where I can't tell anyone what to think, people, but I just feel certain people are going to find positives, negatives, where the truth is in the middle. This game sums up our season, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I love you guys. I want to hear what you have to say, people, but it's one of those games where I need to get my thoughts out there to you guys ASAP. Please make sure you're checking out the pinned message. 11:30, we'll review the game further from a tactical point of view. You know, I'd rather see Martinelli up front as well. Big up the members. But if you allow me to spray my thoughts, people, I think first 10, Martinelli looked the sharpest. You know, he did have a chance he probably should have taken in the first couple of minutes. I'm not really onto him about that. But I think he should have taken his chances. It was his first chance and whatnot. He was playing half decent football. That being said, you know, it was all right. I think Fulham early on were giving us half chances. Early first minutes, you know, we're getting corners. They're switching off. We need to finish our dinner. It's Sunday, and I know a lot of Caribbean folk, the dinner smelling good. We didn't try to finish it. You saw Fulham. Yeah, they were playing a back four. It did look like a three at times, but it was two banks of four deep in their half. It's another game where I'm asking, can we break down a low block? Ultimately, we're struggling in that regards, people. From the 15th to 20-minute stage of that first half, I think it started to open up a bit. I think whatever way we shape it, we're not testing Areola. And when you don't test the defense, especially a team fighting relegation, you're allowing them to build confidence. And I think the game did start opening up. And I think really and truly, we're not creating enough. You know, I think the game was way too flat for my liking. Yes, there's changes made, and especially the changes made in the center of the park. It was going to harm our front four. It was going to harm our play, but we were flat. We were disjointed. We were stale. You know, we was doing the same things. It was poor. The tempo is far too slow. At the end of the day, you don't shoot, you don't score. In the first half, as it came to a close, we had 3 shots, 1 on target. Now, if you score 1 goal, it looks clinical. It's dead. 20 minutes on, you know, I need a bit more from everybody, because although I'm not happy with Ceballos and El Nene in the middle of the park. I think Ceballos is being a busybody and putting himself around. He's not showing. El Nene is not showing either. And that's harming our front four getting into the game, because Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli and Lacazette, they're dropping too deep. They're dropping far too deep, and that's helping Fulham, because Fulham can defend anyways. These are things we learned against Crystal Palace at the Emirates. We've learned several times. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again. That's what frustrated me. Like I said, and I'm looking at it, I'm going to be honest. I was thinking, you know what, Saka ended up going right back, but I think you should have went Saka left back, you know, put Xhaka in the midfield. I think El Nene could have been hooked, you know. It's always the ones that aren't involved, and I know rotation and injuries and all these things are becoming prevalent, but I just feel if man are fit enough to be in this squad, they're fit enough to start. I know our season's a dead rubber of sorts, but we're playing for stuff. You brought on, this isn't the same. This isn't the first time Arteta has done things like this. You have chosen not to use several players, and then you're relying on them. You know, if Pepe and Partey are fit enough to play them and hook them at the 60th minute if you want to rest them, or take them off when the game's done earlier in the Europa League. Arteta once again showing his inexperience. Like I said, Bellerin's hot and cold, but I'm seeing him on the ball more. I'm seeing Gabriel and Xhaka more on the ball. I'm not seeing the midfield in particular. And then how can my front four get on it, people? 39 minutes again, you know, again, we thought we did the business. It would have been a scumbag one. Ceballos headed home. How VAR has said a toenail from Saka's offside is what it is. It happens, people. Like in the Europa League, when Smith Rowe this week was done by, I felt there would have been a reaction. I'm not going to lie to you lot. I feel we're hard done by the goal, but I still think we didn't deserve that goal. Not that I think it shouldn't have stood, but it would have been a false image because we didn't put Areola under sustained pressure. We didn't put their defense under sustained pressure. We didn't shoot enough. We didn't really deserve that goal. We deserved it because it stood, but we didn't deserve that goal. So I was hoping, like in the Europa League, where we was hard done by with Smith Rowe, all right, cool, we feel hard done by, we go again. You know, we did have 2 chances towards the end. You know, throughout the first half, we had 2 half chances around that period. Martinelli had a half chance as well. Martinelli did have a chance in the beginning, and there was one where Ceballos was hard done by. You know, we had a goal disallowed for offside, 2 goals disallowed, if I remember rightly, in that first half, unfairly, like for me anyways. Fair enough, Smith Rowe is blatantly offside in what would have been a Yachin own goal. Saka's one, I don't understand why, but again, I'm not excusing it. The standard of refereeing is terrible. VAR is not being used correctly, but we know these things. And what I will say, at half time or whatever, we can focus on VAR, but have we remove VAR now? Each and every individual player, have we done enough to get 3 points? Have we done enough to score? No, because we've ended the half with 3 shots, 1 on target. You haven't tested Areola. You're letting a relegated team playing away from home build some confidence. We're in poor list. We're poor there, people. Second half, like I said, for me, excluding the last 10 minutes, Fulham actually had the best chance. Where remember it bobbled and it hit Holding, and Matt Ryan would have been rooted and it would have went in. Fulham are getting numbers back. We're not playing quick enough. We're not breaking quick enough. So we're helping them defend. As I said, I think it's looking for me. Can you move Xhaka inside? I need more from our midfielders. And I'm not saying Xhaka is perfect. I know Xhaka has a lot of problems, but the man shows for the ball. The man wants the ball. He wants to get onto it. Something that Ceballos doesn't. Ceballos wants to get on the ball, but he's not there when we're trying to build. El doesn't want it. He's a pussycat. He does not want the ball. He's standing in areas where he's not going to evidently get it and whatnot. And I think Arteta, I know rotation's part of it, but you've played into that hands. We have not put Fulham under sustained pressure. We haven't created I don't know why it says uncertainty, but uncertainty within that defense. You know, you're allowing towards the last 20 minutes of the game, you're allowing them to play out from the back. You're allowing Tosin. You're allowing Anderson. And don't get it twisted. I think Fulham did their thing. Take nothing away from Fulham. They stood up to be counted. They looked like they wanted to win a game of football. They looked like they wanted to try. Yeah, there was a bit of moments where they showed their championship quality for the vast majority. I can't lie, but it's poor. The team was disjointed, disorganized, lethargic, lacking ideas, and a big part of that is down to some rotations that was unnecessary. Whatever way you talk about it, 3 shots on target against a team that's 80th, against a team that cannot close their back door or their backside, you're in problems, you know. Changes made killed the little rhythm we've had and been held in. I'm not using it as an excuse. Like I said, I think we actually need rotation, but it did play a part. Lackluster first half, best way to describe it. You know, I've not seen what Areola's about. He's been at PSG, he's been at Real Madrid. I never saw a keeper of that nature. You know, he's not being picked up. He's collecting crosses. Obviously, Lacazette in the second half, as somebody said, picked up a knocker as well. So that harmed us. But first half, I'm not impressed. Not impressed. Second half is more of the same. It's same old. Yeah, we made a little fight of things. We made a fight of things. We made a meal. Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, none of them were good like that. But I think Smith Rowe tried, Saka tried, Martinelli tried, Eddie came off the bench and tried. They're showing their experienced players up. You know, there's sideways passes. It's very slow. It's very disjointed. There were moments it didn't look like our day. What can I say, man? And again, you know, young players once again are standing up to be counted. I think Arteta has to hold his hands up because not only did the lineup was disjointed, you're not arresting these things quicker. You know, you can see we're lacking. Scott Parker, he's there telling Reed and these sort of players to get ready. You're reacting too late. way too late. And for me, that's the concern with Arteta. He's not learning from his mistakes time and time again, because I don't feel there's any genuine pressure on him to not do dumb things like this. You all saw it. So to end it, my closing thoughts were, both teams should be hard done by. As much as I don't think we were good enough, VAR is an absolute farce. Toenails are offside and then other goals are being disallowed. It's an absolute joke. Fulham, I felt, were hard done by at the end of the game. That's never an effing penalty when they took the lead as well with a pen. I know Gabriel shouldn't be doing that. There's hardly any contact and he's made a meal of it. What I will say is, did that not happen in the Europa League where we didn't take our chances and then they hit us on the break, in general? It's not a penalty. It's absolute nonsense. Certain goals look offside more than the ones that are actually being counted. Terrible tactics from Arteta, because he's changed the team and he's not discarded against it. You can't be surprised we lacked playing out from the back because it's disjointed. Many players just didn't turn up to be counted. You got egg on your face, Arteta, because I can't see what you're doing as a team. You're then bringing on Pepe and Partey. Fulham, I don't know why it says heart done by. As you can see, speed typing. Both teams could feel VAR done them dirty, but for Arsenal, we didn't do enough. We're lucky to get a point even. We're lucky. Yeah, with the goal should have counted, but it's absolute nonsense, and it sums up our season, people. It sums it up. It just sums it up. It's an absolute joke. It's an absolute farce, and that's firmly where it is for us, people. There's not much more I can say. It's 2 points dropped. It's very reactionary. We've had to rely on the second half to turn it around once again. It's same old, really and truly. And it's like you could see Martinelli extremely isolated, Saka trying, but it's nothing to happen. Smith Rowe was quite poor in my opinion, but these lot are trying more than the experienced ones, man. I just feel Arteta, I don't know honestly what he tried to do in that game, and there's been several times, man. It's absolute nonsense, man. Like, he needs to stick to several things. Like, stop messing around with the pivot, stop messing around with the defensive partnerships. You're killing your own playing out from the back end. What antagonizes me with Arteta is you as a midfielder, and our midfield is no better looking than how it was. You can sit here and say we're focusing on the Europa League. Do you not have 100% conviction? Because the only difference with the Europa League, we play like that. You get a second leg to turn it around. You don't get that in the Premier League. And we've dropped, and again, it's more stupid points dropped at home. I'm happy because Fulham ain't won in like 29 games, and for a large parts of that game, it looked like we was gonna let them put that right, but it was poor. You didn't start well. You didn't arrest your mistakes. You didn't react. In fact, he was very reactive. I feel the lineup contributed into the game, and it's just ultimately a poor game. And is what it is. You can talk about focusing on the Europa League until you're blue in the face. There's no excuses. You can talk about VAR, which is a massive part, but away from VAR, did we do our job? No. It's too much lip service from everybody connected with the club. Pardon me. Like, certain individuals are just not going to get better. And it's same old. It's quite boring mentioning the same things over and over again, really, because it starts making you look mad at some point, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. There's 62 of you locked in, people. So it is what it is. And if you did have any slim hopes of Arsenal somehow getting top 4, top 6, getting Europa, it's gone, man. It's absolutely gone, people. So that's that, man. We're going to get into the player rating soon, but what are you guys saying? Even Martinelli's decision-making is a bit toilet, but you can't do much. Xhaka isn't going to, and it's not even Xhaka's fault. Xhaka isn't a fullback. He's not going to run in behind. This is why I'm saying throw Saka there. But no, man, want to throw Saka right back. It's absolute nonsense, man. Absolute nonsense. Arteta's fucking naive today, man. Absolute joking. And Lacazette being injured, salt in our wounds, because obviously Aubameyang's battling malaria. Has to mean Martinelli up front then, man. Arteta has to be hold to struggle, because for me, not only is the lineup, it's you're taking too long to make subs. You're very reactive, showing you inexperience. And how many incidences has you been in that same situation? You have to learn from it, man. VAR is a joke, but it's not the only thing to focus on, man. Absolute joking. It isn't good enough. I hope you're all doing well and safe, man. Good luck breaking the game down. There's no need to break the game down. I just said it. It's absolute a joke thing, man. Should have taken our chances today. Gabriel should have scored after 30 seconds. He should have, but he's a bit rusty. He's a young man. It's the first chance of the game, man. For me, I feel when you nitpick, not excusing anything, but when I'm harping, and I've said it before, when I find myself harping on about 3 or 4 chances over a 90-minute game, it tells me as a football team we're not creating enough. We're not shooting enough. We did not test Areola. There's no test of Areola's credentials in that game. He never went into that game. Look, there's pressure on Lloris's spot. you know, in terms of playing for France. Forgive me if I'm wrong. Areola does play for France. What has he showed Deschamps in this game to say, yo, I can play there? It's a joke thing. The young, I've only, you know, the young players and Matt Ryan, they're the only ones in my good books. Matt Ryan for actually just flicking on the corner, a header, you know, from the corner. And I can't blame Matt Ryan for nothing today, really, you know. Absolute poor. I don't even think Holden did what he could. It was just, apart from that, absolutely atrocious, man. It is ridiculous how we get screwed by the refs, but at the same time, man, that's going to take away from the game. That's going to make out, not saying you are, but that's going to make out that we had a good game and it's just the refs. We can't account for bad refs. Of course, they play a part, but what we can account for is turning up. And like I said, if we remove the refs' controversy decisions, did we do enough to win the game? Hell no. We didn't start the game well, you know. Anything that any sort of feel good factor or mentality you thought was in this team, it's not there. This is why I tell people don't write conclusions, man. I don't know for Saki, man, but no excuses for that performance. No one used it. We are focused. Trust me, man. It was embarrassing seeing celebrations as well. But Gabriel's Nketiah is a young man, you know. Where is the experience wants to say, what the hell are you doing? We're losing. I mean, we might as well be losing. Pattern up. Big up to Fulham, bro. Fulham did a madness. We took 4 points off Fulham. You know, they were. I feel Fulham are hard done by. Credit to Fulham. And then it offers nothing, man. And then it offers nothing, man. I don't know what El Nene offers, or if this is why I told you, look, stop dropping your knickers for a new contract for some of these crap dons, man. He does need to find a centre half pairing and stick to it without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. It looked like Lacazette pulled his hamstring. I don't know what Arteta has said, but I will. Shout out to Arsenal's ladies, Arsenal's women. They're showing the man them how to score goals, man. My guy, with respect, I don't care about expected goals, man. I don't care about expecting goals because I know we're not good enough for none of that. And it was dead. It was dead, man. Had a whole season of this. The whole season of this nonsense, man. Frustrating when we're struggling with 5-yard passes and that's when I get frustrated, man. To be fair, I think Gabriel was all right until that penalty incident. I think he tried to drive the game well. That's just my opinion. I feel if anything, people have turned their backs on him really and truly, man. And I don't really give a crap about Mustafi Dermot because he's not at this club anymore, man. I want the season to end, but we've been saying that for time, man. We've been saying that for time, man. It's up to Aubameyang to carry us in the cup. I don't know for that. The whole players have to stand up to be counted, man. Trust me, just blaming VAR is lazy. You know, there's many factors. Once again, we can't break down low blocks, man. Marie wouldn't have swung his leg like that. But what is it when Marie's giving stupid penalties away against Chelsea? So he might have, you know, every defender's suspect at this football club. Every damn player's suspect, man. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crap, man. And he's always going to have mistakes. He's 22 years of age, barely played 100 career games at the time of signing. So absolute mazza, man. You know, I don't know the system. The system is dead, man. Arteta was better off doing that hybrid crap that we've seen in the last 2 games with everybody playing bare different roles if you're going to play like that, you know. And the rotation and the tired stuff and all of these sort of things, people, and all of these things, it don't really make sense because at the end of the day, you've still played Xhaka and Saka, 2 players that probably are going to be in the red zone. Okay, he's turned 23 recently. And this is it, you know, he made a mistake. He holds his hands up, you know, he was all right. If you feel he was dead, he was dead. Odegaard would have helped, but we've been in games where Odegaard's played and we've looked clueless. It's always the individuals that are not involved. I agree. You know, Tierney's involved. You know, Xhaka centrally today. Like you said, you know, with these players, Pepe starting, we should have done something. Absolute madness. Absolute Mazzolini, man. Absolute madness. Absolute joke, people, man. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, man. It's frustrating, man. 84 likes, 158 of you locked in. It is what it is. It's poor, man. It's absolutely poor. It's frustrating, man, because you know you're contributing to these defeats. Teams are not taking points off of you over your dead body. It's crazy, man. You know, it's absolute madness. And Do you know what? It doesn't even, for me, to a degree, we've seen hell of these different players play, and we've seen the same thing, man. We've seen the same thing. I've answered your question, Jake. Please stop spamming, my guy. This is it as well. I don't think we played good. That's not good. That's meaty to me. That is shit to me. Pardon me, my guy. You're allowed your opinions. I 5-yard passes, lack of movement, disjointed. I don't think that's good. That everyone's allowed it. I don't think that's good. I've seen Arsenal play good this season. That's not good. But you're allowed your opinion. I'm not getting at you, my guy. I just is what it is. I'm allowed mine. You're allowed yours. I want to see how many shots we had in total, because we had 3 shots, 1 on target in the first half. There was a bit more of an effort from us in the second. Let's not cap, but it's not enough, is it? Absolute farce of a team, man. Boy, we just moved forward to Saturday, man. We just got off, well, in fact, before Saturday, we've got Everton, so we've got Carlo Ancelotti next Friday, so you know what time it is already. With them ones there, people. Show me the shots, man. 5 shots on target, 18 shots. Fulham had 1. 3 shots, 1 on target. Just can't break down blocks, can we? Just can't break down blocks, man. Oh, bro, from what I've seen, I can't believe we're winning Europa League. I don't see it. Bro, it's another game. If fans were allowed at them home games, it's madness. To be fair, they're both out here making mistakes when they're both involved, man. Bare players in this team are error prone, man. I know you have a little soft spot for Gabriel, but he was poor today. His overhit and underhit passes caused problems. You're allowed that, but I would say he showed up more than the midfielders. He made his mistake. He holds his hands up. I don't think he was poor today, apart from that mistake. It's no secret I have a bias against him. I love Gabriel, but I don't think that was. I've seen him play trash, and I've held him accountable. For the super chat pride, you'd have to ask these players. This is it, man. This is it. Raz, if you feel Gabriel was dead, he was dead. But nobody forced their opinions down on people. Enough of this Gabriel stuff. Because whether it's just Gabriel, whether it's Martinelli's missed chances, whatever, collectively as a team, we didn't do well enough. Did not do well enough. Did not do well enough, man. Did the players communicate on the pitch? This team is so inconsistent. Bro, the less said about these, man, they're better, bro. They're not serious, man. Ceballos, think he put himself about, but dead, man. Like, it's just dead. Like, it's just, and the minimum is just being prepared. You never get the vibe. You have to get the vibe. What have you lot been preparing for, man? Like, what have you lot been preparing for all week? Because I'm sure Arteta didn't want to have you lot out there playing like that. So it's very difficult to comprehend and concede. Like, it's not making sense. But it's happened, innit? It's happened, innit? Like, we just have to eat that one, man. When you make these changes, it's a problem, man. Like, it is what it is, man. This is it. I don't want people focusing on Martinelli missing chances or Gabriel. Like, you can't just blame one man. We're all in this bullshit together. We could sit here and say Martinelli missed his chances, but that's stupid. And I'm seeing half of you in this turn on, man, as well. To be fair, Pepe did all he could. I would say Pepe brought something. It weren't enough. Pepe brought something. Partey brought something, but it weren't enough, man. The young G's went down fighting, but they weren't good today. Like, Martinelli was hit and miss. He had an all right performance, but it weren't levels. It's not going to be no highlights. Saka weren't good today. Smith Rowe weren't levels like that. Probably 5s out of 10s for them, man, there. I actually don't feel Bellerin was as bad as people make out, but yeah. Well, you'd have to ask Arteta, because for me, I'm no manager, but I believe in playing your best players, man. Your best players have to play. It's not exactly point blank range, though, is it? Like, I think we need to stop being emotional. Like, it's not Pepe is not exactly, that as well. The league is done. I think you're letting emotion count for you. Omar Rekic has barely got his feet under the door at 23's level. He's not going to play. So let's calm it down, man. Nah. I literally said Bellerin wasn't as bad as people are making out. That doesn't mean he played good. His passing was meaty. I did think he put himself about, man. And this is it as well, man. Bro, Nketiah, Balogun, Martinelli, Project Martinelli, which is the one I'd rather see. Give him experience playing through the middle, but don't know, man. Really don't know. At this moment, I care about the injuries, but I don't really care, man, because we're just focused on this 90 minutes, man. Bro, we know Bellerin's overlaps Meaty, passes behind people, Meaty, but with all this in full, I don't feel Bellerin deserves a lot of heat for today because it weren't down to him. Would I have played Bellerin? No, but I think he tried a bit more than certain other man, you know. I don't know why he starts over them either, but these are things for Arteta, man. You know, 1 winning 6 after Europe. Again, the same. It's for me, it's because we're losing, drawing, and winning games in the same effing manner. Like that's what jars me and tells me we're not serious because we're just doing the same things. Like when you do that, you're not serious. And I want to see our last recent results where the league's concerned because we were back after Sheffield. You know, fans need to calm it down. Let me see what we're going for our league position and them thing there, man. Like, what's it? I've got no interest in this league, man. What we won 3-0. We got wiped 3-0. Oh man, our record has been trash in the league, man. Absolutely trash in the league post Europa, and these boys just can't be at it. Like they're not. This is why I try to detox from the team because they're not serious, man. This is why I tell fans just accept it for what it is, man. It's very hard watching this. We are ninth. Are we a cup team? Because when we might have won FA Cups, but when the pressure is on them and they let themselves down, I don't know if they're a cup team, man. I don't know. Really don't know. We can't rely on youngsters every week, and the fact that we are is poor, man. Bro, if you don't shoot, you don't score. Sometimes we're trying to work it, and you're playing a low block, is sideways. Trust me, bro. Like, man, I don't know what man wanted Pepe to do from the header. It would have been nice to go in, but like this is what I mean. Man, need to stop the emotional thing. Like, calm it down a bit, bro. Like, man, I'm saying you have to score from point blank range, bro. Oh, I'm not here to talk about no Super Cup. Ask me tomorrow with respect, man. Let's deal with this game, man. Haven't won back-to-back games since January. This is it. We're just freestyling. Sometimes we play like that, we win and we say, oh, what a performance. Sometimes we play like that and lose. Sometimes it is what it is, man. You know. This is it. Forget the offside, bro. Forget the VAR. VAR is a factor, but forget it, bro. Because away from VAR, we didn't do enough. If we did enough, we defended well, we created well, but we would have scored 3-4. And then we might say, why did they chalk a goal off? But we got the result. I'm not here to keep doing that, but it's just facts, man. Like, it's just an absolute farce is the best way to describe it, man. Like, what are you lot working at in pre-season, man? It's just, I mean, in the week, sorry, it's apart from Partey and apart from the youngsters and Partey, our players are average. Do you know what it is? I don't even mind average players, bro. Like Arsenal there's legends at this football club that were average footballers. It's just they knew their role, they did it effing well, and they were consistent, bro. Nothing wrong with being average. When you got average man that don't understand, our problem is you got average man that don't know what this thing is about. The mentality is messed already. So you've got mediocre man, poor mentality, no consistency. That's where we start having a recipe for disaster. You know, just vibes, broski, just vibes. Just freestyling, just vibes. You know, it's crazy, man. Fuck that, man. I don't feel bad. Listen, I have admiration for Scott Parker. They did what they needed to do, but F that. I ain't got no sympathy for no team that ain't Arsenal because no one got sympathy for DG when I'm out here getting stressed out. So F that. Shout out Scott Parker. They did what they had to, man. But, you know, I felt they were hard done by, but it's crazy, man. Just bare freestyling, man. The sooner the fans, because I think that as well, Nobby, because I'm starting to believe people at the club are living in a bubble. Like, because this season they've listened, you know, the Villas, the Leicesters, the Wolves, we didn't lose, but performances like that, Liverpool getting smacked up, fans are there, you know, it could be a bit peak. That's one luxury Arteta is getting that Una Emery never got. If fans were allowed in them stadiums there, it would have been peak. It would have been absolutely peak, people. You know, players are not standing up to be counted at all, which just makes it dead as well, people. You know, it's just I don't know what to tell you, lot people. I feel they've just disrespected the fans, man. You know, the only thing I'd say it's a beautiful day if you're in the UK. Go and salvage some sort of the day, people. Don't let them mess it up for you because they're not serious. If they're not serious, why should we be serious? We're gonna get into the player rating soon, man. But like, it shouldn't even do a player ratings thing, people. There shouldn't even be one. You get it? Players are not serious, man. If you're serious, you don't do that. It's the same old man. It's the same. Even Xhaka, even though Xhaka's not a good footballer like that for me, it's the same old him getting on the ball. It's the same old Smith Rowe popping up on the left, on the right, in the middle. Same old Saka, Martinelli. Like Fulham clocked that Martinelli stuff as well. They know they clock Martinelli is not. If I'm scrutinizing Martinelli's performance, swing your left foot at it sometimes. The cutting in thing is dead all the time. You know, as much as I love Martinelli, I'm not attacking him. This is why football fans need to stop wanking over man because he's got a lot to learn. His decision making weren't perfect. You know, for me, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, at least them man they tried, but it weren't perfect. So I man have to remember these men are young guys. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I get the fact that the mentality, for me, it sums up the poor mentality as well. It's Burnley allegedly scored, but it's been chalked off for offside. Don't get it twisted, yeah. I get it. I get it. And Ketiah, you know, you should have elite mentality. You want to do the phone business, but let's be real. You know, he's a young man. He ain't played too tough. You're not always thinking. I'm not excusing it. I expect my professional footballers in the same way. Well, I say professional. I expect the bigger players in the same way. Remember a couple of years ago, Dan James, they equalized for United. He's there doing this like he's elite, and Martial is dragging him. Man, need to drag him, but instead, I'm seeing Ceballos and them man involved in the celebration. You know, it's what it is. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. So, like I said, I don't blame Eddie and Ketiah for celebrating. He should be thinking, let me go and get another one. He should be thinking about the collective. But what can I expect of a 21-year-old that's barely playing and he's playing for Arsenal Football Club and he scored an effing goal in the Premier League? Of course you're going to celebrate. That's where I'm looking at other man. Maybe even a couple of more senior, younger players than him and saying, listen, pattern up. If Xhaka, not to name somebody, if Xhaka, Partey, Matt Ryan, who else is of experience, you know, whoever's on that field, if they're not pulling him to pattern up, how can I expect him to pattern? Like I said, I'm not excusing it, but it's a bit different from when I'm seeing Giroud, who's played for France and that celebrate a draw against Bournemouth. So I don't blame Eddie for celebrating, but he should pattern. Like, of course. Head mentality, it sums up our mentality, of course, man. My guy asked me tomorrow, man. I don't really care for Europa Super League. I'm sorry to sound a bit insensitive, but I don't give a crap about it. I don't care about that. I don't care about signings. I don't care about hella things. I just care about that 90-minute game, man. You know, outclassed, bro. Arteta is getting. Do you know the thing about Arteta, yeah? And I need to make sure this is a timestamp for people. You know the thing about Arteta, yeah? You lot called me a hater. Remember when I told you, lot, sorry, Arteta. Remember when I told you, look, anytime Arteta is coming against a manager who, let's be, it's even more concerning now because Scott Parker is a novice as well. Scott Parker, he ain't been in the game too tough. Yeah, he's done his thing in Spurs' academy. He waited his time for his opportunity and things and things like that. But this is where my problem with Arteta is because the players, listen, this is what I mean. We look at VAR. Wow, Bruno Fernandes got manhandled there. Evidently, VAR played a part, right? Obviously, the players not taking chances played a part, right? Arteta's tactics played a part. So for me, his tactics were poor. And for me, he's not arresting them. If you can see the game's going against you in certain incidences, react. And he's taking too long to react. And you should know, okay, cool. I'm going to give Ceballos and Nene a chance. But this midfield is a bit gazy. First 10 minutes, the second half, I'm moving mad. I'm seeing Scott Parker make changes. And it's concerning because Scott Parker, as much as I like him, he ain't been in the game. And I've said that before. When we've gone against Brendan Rodgers, against Nuno, half the time, how many times have I said, when a man of Dean Smith, he struggled to Arteta can set up a plan, but mid-game, he can't react. It's like being in a boxing match. He can tell you, my man's a southpaw, lean on that side. But when he gets a different sort of punch in that boxing match that wasn't planned for, it's a struggling thing. And I think he struggled once again. And for me, he's being very reactive, and he's not being proactive in arresting his own mistakes. So I feel his tactics did hurt us. And especially, like I said, you're going with that front four. They were poor as well, but they're gonna be very crippled with the midfield you've gone. You played with El Nene. He plays sideways football. Xhaka isn't in the midfield, so you're not going to get certain things. You was a midfielder, so I don't get a lot of these things. And it is concerning. And when Arteta does things like this, I know we can talk to a blue in the face about rotation. This doesn't tell me there's healthy pressure on your job, because if Tuchel does this now, not that away from the obvious, he's got to justify why he's doing this thing. And this is why, for me, I'm not going to sit here and say Arteta out. I'm not going to sit here and just blindlessly defend Arteta. I can't see it. I haven't seen enough of Arteta to say get out. I haven't seen enough to defend him. It's crazy. It's absolutely mad. And this is why I tell you, look, when we're having our little free games on the spin, stop declaring we're back. When we're beating Sheffield United, stop declaring we're back. Because this is another game where, VAR played a part, but we didn't end it as strongly. We're switched off. It's quite poor, man. It's absolutely appalling. And Arteta has to hold his hands up today. And the thing is, I hope in the future we look back and we're like, boy, that 2020-21 season, Arteta was doing this. He's still doing the same things he was doing at the start of the year. He's still not arresting his mistakes. He's still not managing players properly. You're still not, how much have you caused of that injury to Lacazette through overplaying him in the Europa? You're not managing players. Pepe and Partey, you could talk about tiredness. You've brought them on. Why not play them and then hook them? You don't get the vibe that he understands football is, you need to win games. You need to manage the squad rightly. I don't get it. I don't. And I know people can talk about fitness. Why is Xhaka and Saka starting then? Why? I know everybody's fitness isn't the same, but they play more minutes across the whole season, And for me, I don't know. Listen, I just know football. I'm a football fan. But if you're in that squad, whether you're on the bench or you start, for me, that tells me you can play minute 0, minute 90, because God forbid, if you're Partey, if you're Pepe, Martinelli, Ceballos, they get injured in the first 30 seconds, you're coming on. So you're fit enough. And even times like we go back to Spurs at their place, he's been playing Bellerin at times on top of an injury. He risked Partey. So I have to, Arteta's just showing too many naiveties. Too many naiveties as a manager. And again, I want him, I want him to learn from it, but he's not showing the proactiveness of learning from it. MIKEL Arteta is just simply not learning. He's simply not learning, people. He's not learning, and that's what scares me when men are not learning. If you put your hand in the fire and it burns you, don't put your hand in that fire again. If you put your hand in the fire again, you're gonna lose your fingers. And if you put your hands in the fire again, you lose your fingers. You're an idiot, and you caused that. It's just the fact that among everything, people, we're doing this to ourselves. We're doing this to ourselves. That's just the frustrating for me, man. But at the end of the day, I'm happy you guys are here. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. You lot are my therapy, man. You lot just provide the therapy. You know me. I don't think we have a divine right to win or lose. What I care about is standards. I don't care if Arsenal are 10th, 20th, 1st. There's standards. There's ways of doing things. And when I'm seeing struggling 5-yard passes, when I'm seeing over-reliance on the young players, when I'm seeing players know it as well. Players evidently know. Let me give it to Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe. When I see that sort of hiding, I'm not happy with it. I can't accept that. I can't take it, people. There's standards. There's psychological and tactical standards man have to go in with. And I can't take that. The minimum is turning up. None of them players turn up today. Bear man were not mentally there. Bear man in that what, let's say 20, 30 minutes, they didn't arrest their mistakes. VAR played a part, but we never done enough. How many times were you there like, oh, wow, what a save Areola made? Yeah, there was incidences, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Saka, etc. They were involved in play. They were making things happen. They were huffing and puffing, half huffing and puffing. But you never put man under sustained pressure. For me, you put teams like Fulham under sustained pressure, you have a million chances. Then I can say, yeah, VAR did this and that. It's not making sense. For me, it's about standards. We're not a Premier League team. I mean, we're not a levels Premier League team. We're not doing bits in Europe, but it's standards. Fulham had standards. They were let down by VAR. Every team we've 9 times out of 10 played in the Premier League, I've seen standards. I've seen ways in doing things. It's been a joke thing for us. And until these players can really fix up, it's more of the same. Now our task is harder because obviously Lacazette is injured. But man, have to eat that one now, isn't it? It is what it is, people. Like it is what it is. We listen. I'm not gonna. I have sympathy for Arteta. I've got sympathy for these players, but we know injuries, all of these sort of things are problems. The lack of clean sheets are concerning. What's that? 2 clean sheets on the spin now. And this is where we need to find that balance as fans of praising this team for making improvements, but also not getting carried away. Because when we compare these improvements to an Arsenal team of old or a levels Arsenal team, it's poo, people, to put it nicely. Away from everything, it's the mentality. We can sign. We've been signing players that are listen. Not to use. I don't think you can blame Pepe and Xhaka, but they sum it up. Not that they sum it up, but they're perfect examples. Xhaka can pass the ball. He weren't to blame for today, but he can pass the ball. Pepe can beat man and do exciting things. And like I said, I'm not scapegoating him, but my problem is this: I'm highlighting them too because we can sign players that can pass the ball. We need players that mentally are on this thing week in, week out, because they'll give us what they did against who did we even play on Thursday? Slavia Prague on the Thursday. You're going into the Sunday now and you're not on it. And good for God forbid, you've got a long time now. See, we got Friday, Everton, they have been a bit shaky of recent. They put in a big performance against Spurs. Probably should have walked away with all 3 points. We've got a serious game to come. Wake up now. This game has gone and come now. It's gone. I can talk about this till I'm blue in the face. You man can chat about it. It's gone. And for me, it's about standards. Like I said, about standards. The difference between the Europa League and the Premier League of current is we'll put in a performance like that and draw the first leg, or mess around in the first leg, like against Benfica, Olympiacos, even Slavia Prague. There's no do-overs in the Prem, And for me, whether we're resting players or not, if our eggs truly are in the Europa League basket, it's about having standards. You do this against an Unai Emery side, you're getting dumped out of that competition. Doesn't matter who is playing, Doesn't matter who is playing, and it is what it is, people. The good thing is we're fast approaching May. Couple of games now. Hopefully, we go as far as we can in the Europa. The Premier League one is soon done. By God's grace, it's soon done, people. That's all I can say, people. Our standards are on the toilet, people. On the floor, man. On the floor, fam. On the floor, people. And until these things pattern up, it's gonna be the same. And this is what I mean by when you lot call me, not to sit here and be a know-it-all, and I'm not a know-it-all, but when you lot call me negative, I'm sit down like, man, I'm not trying to be negative, It's just I know we do these little things, 3-4 games on the spin. We have what I call winning the wars. Like if the season ends tomorrow, bro, we're 9th, 10th, wherever the backside we are now, innit? I call that losing the battle, because 38 games, there's no hiding place. But I mean, losing the war, losing the war. But we'll win these little battles, We might lose these dropping down points historically this season. Burnley, Leicester, not turning up against Leicester and Wolves, and Villa. There's been numerous cheap goals in games we've played, yeah. But we'll lose the war. Those little things add into the war. That's the majority of the 38 game period. But we'll win little battles. We'll get a little bragging rights against Spurs across the 90 minutes. We'll be a little Chelsea. We'll be a little, we'll win these little games. Leicester, we'll win these little United. We'll win a little 4 or 5 games. I don't know about anyone else, but I don't want to sit in May saying, boy, at least we beat this team. At least we beat United away from home for the wickedest time. And the wickedest thing, there are some positives we've made this season, but the positives are overstated. The negatives are not addressed. It's only when we're not winning games, man, want to talk about this, because this is the same sort of BS to a degree we was doing against West Ham. The difference is we got something away from this game. We're literally playing the same way, people. The definition of insanity is doing the same things again and again and again and again and again and not arresting them and trying to say something different. And this is why we're going to be in this position, people. This is why we're going to be here, This is why we're going to be here. It's absolutely appalling. It's absolutely appalling. And we're here, innit? Like, we're here. Like, we drew. We've lost games. We've got battered against teams, and I haven't been this animated. I'm sure you lot will agree. But once again, it's about the standards. It's about doing things in the right way. And I'm now in May. I'm yet to see a team that has played well and taken 3 points off us like that. We've rarely been as crap as we've been, rarely this season has a team come here or we've gone there and they've smashed us. It's been we've switched off, or we've let in a penalty, or we've not focused, and historically we're dropping too many points. And this has been the worst home form man I've seen in my life. I'm not going to cap to you lot, people. This is the worst home form I've seen. And the wickedest thing, I don't know why it's not being stated. I don't know if it's because there's a bag of other problems at Arsenal. I don't know if it's because we're doing bits away from home. Our home form has been inconsistent. It's been trash. And maybe it'd be highlighted a bit more if the fans were there. Granted, to a degree, the one benefit is probably not toxic people, because the fans aren't there. And the thing is, people call this negativity toxic. Anyone can't condone this, because when we win, the match day, the open things come out, it looks all wavy and that. When we lose, there's no accountability, man. Like it's frustrating more than anything, man. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. We win battles and we lose wars, people. We play like this every week. And this, if we had we have nicked 2 goals in this game, we'd have been like, yeah, fight back, this and that. Man failed to understand, football is a 90-minute game, and too often than not, that happens at Arsenal. Don't get twisted. When we, sometimes you're gonna play poor, you need to nick it and things. But when this is happening frequently, there's something you're not doing either on the training ground, on the training field, or how you're going into games. Yeah, when you turn it around against Leicester and Leicester and help me, people. There was Leicester and there was West Ham to a degree. It looks certified. People. At the same time, when you look away from that, how we've played against, how we've drawn against Palace, how we've played against in a defeat to Wolves twice, Villa twice, actually winning and losing Leicester twice. We're playing the same way, people. It's not good enough. And this isn't an accident. We're here because we're doing these things. This is a result of what we're doing on the training ground or lack of. It's as simple as that. It is. This is a result of what we're doing on the training ground. That's a better timestamp. Big up everyone. 235 of you. Please make sure you hit the like button. Andrew, I'm a plastic fan. Your wife probably prefers a bit of plastic than the real thing, if you know what I'm saying, people. Moving away from you, suck yourself. We're out of it. Any team that denies us 3 points, any team that turns up denies us 3 points. Exactly, bro. Exactly. Remember them man there switched it up. And 9 times out of 10, because away from the tactics and that, every other team we play, they're switched on. They are switched on. And like I said, football is in a game. It doesn't matter if you're top of the league. It does not matter if you're in the League One. If man stand up to be counted, you have half a chance. And mentally, we're not serious. Thank you, my guy. People, make sure you hit the like button. Not you, Ryan. I love you, but out of there, man. It is what it is. I don't think Arteta's PR is helping him because he's bigged him up and he's not delivered. There is something good with Arteta. Every time I'm speaking about him losing the tactical battle, he's won the tactical battle in some big games. He has set us up well sometimes, and the players have let him down. You've won an FA Cup, but there's so many negatives. There's so many half positives and half negatives. This is why I can't speak for anyone, but I'm not just screaming Arteta in, out, shake it all about, bro. Everyone can F off out this football club, really. I'm at the stage now where a couple of the young players can stay, manager, coaching staff, owner, everybody keep it moving, which isn't going to happen. You get it? Like, it isn't going to happen. They shouldn't have had that penalty. In fact, Andrew, you're the guy calling me a plastic fan for having a different opinion. Once again, your wife deserves the plastic. I'll give her the full thing, though. The way there, because me, I'm a lover man still, but you see me, I got the rage right now. I give the real leng, the lengers. I have to find some humor, man, if we're not gonna do this, bro. Oh, man can call me negative. Apologies. I put someone on hey, somebody said on someone dirty. I accidentally put somebody on timeout when I was gonna answer what they were saying. Apologies, my guy. Good thing is you're fresh home soon, but you said the plastics will call me negative. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. And I apologize for doing you dirty. Fat fingers, man. Everything going poorly today, man. The men who played in your retro shirt were exactly, man. And there's no pretending, fam. This all I get is these players are pretenders because I always tell you a lot about the hard graft, the hard yards. Everyone looks good in the open mics or every Friday, Thursday when we got games on the weekend and they're uploading on the YouTube, the training. Everyone looks wavy. Everyone looks like they're working hard. But when the cameras are off, that's when you got to mash it. Because then when we come into games like this, I'm looking like, boy, you're not doing certified things. You're not putting in the hard graphs. Some players have my sympathy. Matt Ryan, I think Matt Ryan is doing all he can to his capabilities. Saka, Smith Rowe, Martinelli hardly had the best of games, but man, I went down fighting, you know. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I wouldn't even say I'm right. They're just my opinions, man. Love Ryan, man. Ceballos, nah, man. I don't. I think El Nene was poor. I think Ceballos was poor, man. You know, he put himself about. He got a busybody, but nah, man. Nah, man. Bro, I don't, bro. Come on, brother. Like, bro, you get the leng, bro. I'm a nice guy, but the lengers, you know, man, I leng it down, shell it out, bro, ski. Like, shell it out. The rager. That's what I feel like doing, anyways, bro. Like, so don't give me a reason to DM your girl, big man. Calm it down. You know, one's there. Listen, I'm a real spiteful guy when I'm ready. You know, I'll send you the pictures and everything. Allow me. Let's stay on task, people. Bit of humor. Big up the moderators, the members, and the viewers. And if you're new here, hit the sub button. I'm back again at Thingy, man. I'm back again at 11:30 tomorrow. But yeah, we'll get into the player ratings in a hot second, people. It's not even, bro. I'm just making myself feel better, man. I'm just making myself feel better, man. I can't. If you're feeling that, I can't listen. Arteta, the players, bro. You can't defend the undefendable. You know, even if somebody does believe in Arteta, and like I said, you're not wrong. If you believe Arteta or you don't believe in Arteta, you're allowed to have these thoughts. It's often it's too. This is what I hate about football. If you believe in Arteta and he's showing you he's not levels, and you change your mind, you're allowed to. Vice versa. If you rate him, and I mean you don't rate him, you're allowed that. We shouldn't be on to like, bro. It's Arsenal Football Club, fam. It's Arsenal Football Club. You know, we need to just keep on the same task. Please make sure you're hitting that like button. Joseph has said, people saying Arsenal are poor. We played well, just VAR. You're allowed your opinions. I think that's a very dim way of looking at it, but fair play. One day I'll be a legend, not too sure. Broski, come on, man. Come on, man. Is where it is, though, man. It is where it is. It is where it is. End of the day, it's acceptance. Man said we'll never catch Tottenham. Trust, bro. Can Tottenham catch themselves? Trust me, man. You're just on bants, fam. You're just on bants. Oh, I don't know, man. Listen, I actually want Arteta to do well. Who wouldn't want their manager to do well? But at the same time, I don't want Arteta to do well by any means necessary, because if this is other managers, the writing's on the wall. You know, writing is on the wall, people. But let's see, man. I don't even want to hear what the club have had to say. I don't want to hear what the press, you know, all the presses and all of that sort of stuff, because it's just, what I don't like is lack of accountability. I don't like when we do this fairy tale stuff where we say we've played well and all of these sort of things, people. Like, we've played well when we know we haven't. It's dead, man. Bro, deliver the leng, fam. The lengers, bro. The lengers. Man, I'm gonna end up on Shade Bar and that through, you know, YouTube. The clang. Are you mad? Are you mad? I'm on the Martinelli high press thing as well. You mad? Anyways, people, I can't see anything from Arteta just of yet in relation to Fulham. So I think that's one for tomorrow. Let's get into the player ratings, people. Let me just make sure I've got my timestamps ready for you guys. You know me, I'm very considerate of you guys. And to make matters worse as well, people, Saliba conceded a pen today, but let's allow it, man. Let's allow it about Saliba. That's a long report thing. But in relation to the player ratings, people, look at all these timestamps for you guys that aren't here, people. Anyways, people, player ratings time. You know, let's go with Matt Ryan. You know, Matt Ryan. Oh, I'll give you a 6, man. You didn't have much to do, you know. In fact, you're getting a 7 because I saw a better hold up play in the final third from Matt Ryan in the build up to that goal. So I'm gonna give him a 7, man. He was moving certified. You know, shout out to him. Like, saw you better than couple, man. So that's Matt Ryan. Bellerin. You know what? I actually think it's a 5, but then second half, before he come off, he went down the toilet, man. So I think Bellerin could have got a 5 still. Obviously, he was unallowed the thingy. He was unallowed a goal in that, so I'm going to give it to him. I think Bellerin a 4 is cool. Holding, I think Holding was calm today. Obviously, he's part of a poor performance, but Holding gets a 5. Gabriel, I'll give Gabriel a 5, bro. I can't. You lot can shoot me. You lot can say, man, I'm biased to him. You might even be right. You lot can say whatever, but I saw Gabriel trying to build play more than our midfielders. I think Gabriel was all right. He's had a brain fart. I don't think it's a pen, but it's another stupid thing attached to Gabriel's name. So I can't protect him from everybody. I think he deserves a 5. He holds his hands up. He was poor, but I don't think he was that bad in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, when I've needed man to switch on and not be stupid and not be naive, he's potentially let himself down. So that's you lot. But for me, I'm going to give a 5, man. He was playing left back now. He was playing left back. Xhaka, I don't think Xhaka was dead. 5, but again, Xhaka, what we miss, Xhaka, he's not a guy to get overlapped. At the end of the day, you want him to defend first, and you weren't really tested out there. It weren't a game. It weren't that game a lot of people are sitting there and waiting for and saying, yo, he's not a right left back. He got, not that he got away with it. He saved a bit of faith with that. So I think Xhaka gets a 5. I don't feel you can draw out Xhaka today. I think Xhaka did what he could in my eyes, in it. Like, he did his thing. So he gets a 5. Again, done his thing. And you want us to wonder, Xhaka and Saka, surely the man there need rests as well, people. Shout out to the man them on Gabriel. I can't, like I said, if man are saying 4, he deserves a 4 still. I don't quite think Bellerin deserves a 3, like somebody said, but I can't get on to you lot. He is, bro, like Partey, Which I told you, look, when you're part of the club, like it even happened with Alexis. When you're part of the club, you are that shining light for time. Like, everybody looks rubbish, and you're the one guy that, like, how's he here? How's he involved in this? But at some moment, you start becoming part of the mad thing. This is why I said one man, whether it's a player, an owner, a manager, they can't change the whole thing. We all have to sit there and say, yo, this culture of this club is meaty. Let's move it forward, people. So yeah, man. And to be fair, even Bellerin, I saw you, man, bet more than the midfielders. I think the pivot is what let me down the most, people. El Nene, I can't lie, man. People might say Gabriel made a mistake and got a 5. For me, Gabriel was on course to get a 6, 7, and then he done that. El Nene, it's not that he's dead. He's just limited, mad limited. And there's nothing wrong with being limited. I wouldn't say he's set up for failure today, but he's set up for failure because evidently, we're rotating the team. Like, we're rotating it. We're struggling. Like, he's not the guy for that. He's not got evidently Ceballos and El Nene, it doesn't work, in it. It does not work together. El Nene's basic. He wasn't trying to play them passes forward. I think he's set up for failure to a degree because evidently when you do that and when the fans can see Martinelli, Lacazette, Smith Rowe, Saka, and we're not seeing the ball get to them and we're seeing all these players drop, we're naturally going to look at it and say, what's going on? I think El Nene, what I don't like about El Nene, I think at times, I'm not saying he's a coward. I'm not saying he hides. I genuinely feel sometimes he stands between people so he does not get that ball. I don't think he has confidence in himself to do the business. And that's why I forget all this contract business and all these new, all these talks about new deals and the rest of it. Please make sure you're hitting that like button if you haven't already, folks. So yeah, man, that's El Nene has to own that one still. Yeah, it is what it is. Who else was there, man? They tried, innit? Who else was there, man? El Nene, Ceballos. I'm not gonna lie, I give Ceballos a 5 by default, but it's really a 4 from me. Yeah, he could have scored. Yeah, he put himself around, but I don't think he was, he put himself around. He weren't bad, but it's just he was different from El Nene. That I never saw El Nene. I just didn't see enough quality decisions from Ceballos, really and truly. And I didn't see you in areas where it meant much, really and truly. So I actually feel Ceballos did okay, but for me, it's a 4. I think I'm being a bit harsh on him by my own bias. So I'm going to give him a 5. But my own thing was initially a 4. Really wasn't impressed by the pivot. But for me, I don't want to just blame the pivot in the same way. I don't think you can just focus on that penalty. It's the same way I don't think you can focus on, the penalty we conceded. I don't think you can focus on the pivot. I don't think you can just focus on VAR. I don't even think you can just focus on Arteta's reluctance of subs or his reluctance of subs or the lineup. I think they're all a cocktail. They're all added into the glass. Who knows, man? I might have to pour up a thing after this, but it's all added to the cocktail and a part of it. Do you get it? They all played a part. Do you get it? So Ceballos a 5, El Nene a 4. Like I said, really it's a 4. Saka, I give him a 5. You know, terrible game by Saka standards, but he's still tried the thing. Like the young G's, I've got a lot of time for them because they tried the thing. I give him a 5. By Saka standards, it's probably a 3, but it's a 5. Smith Rowe, the same. You know, tried, but it weren't their days. 5 from start to finish. Even before we scored, I'm seeing you, man, about. You know, for what it's worth, Nketiah, not for celebrating, but for scoring and making sure it's not L, my man of the match. Matt Ryan, my man of the match. You know, I'd say Martinelli probably out of all the starters, the one I felt was wavy enough. It is what it is, man. I give the Halem boys 5s. They tried, didn't it? And even on their average of days, it's not enough, man. Dan, I hear you, but a 6, you got to do more than work hard to get higher than a 5 for me. 5 for me is the minimum, innit? Like, I don't, some man say 5's the average. I need to see 7s consistently from players I rate. You can walk away with a 5. It was calm, innit? You know, I can't give you more than a 5 for working hard. Like I said, so they worked hard, did what they could. Saka really should have had some assists. They did what they could, but Saka's standards are higher than that, innit? Saka set himself some good levels. So I think them man there get a 5. I'd probably just give Martinelli a 6 just because I felt he was a bit better than the other two. Even he had periods where he went slow. Now, Martinelli's decision-making needs to improve. He should. I'm not onto him for not scoring that chance early on because it's cobwebs, it's early doors. But he should have probably finished that on another day. We're looking at that. So I think he worked hard. I think he needs to work. If he's going to play left foot, if he's going to play on the left, he needs to be a bit less predictable. He did snatch someone with a little bit of skill. So I feel, you know, like I said, the Halem boys or the young G's, they're the ones I'm cool with. I just feel Martinelli was a bit better than them. Lacazette, you know, 5 from what I saw. You worked hard. I think you was actually dropping a bit too deep in this game, but I can't blame you because we're not building. You know, a byproduct of the centre mids not being on the ball and our build-up play being with Xhaka is that wingers are going to drop. Cams are going to drop. Everyone's going to become more narrow. So it is what it is. I believe that's the starting lineup. In terms of the bench, just for scoring, I'm giving Eddie a 7. You know, you scored. You know, I didn't see you about too much in that game. You did have a chance where your touch was heavy, but you kept going, you kept scoring, and it is what it is. You know, sometimes work on just playing, but he done his thing. Pepe, I give Pepe a 6. I think he added something. He could have scored that header, but I think he added something that the man them were missing. Partey, you know, from what he played, again, he added something. I give him a 6. I'll give him a 6. That's it, man. It was dead other than that. Like, but at the end of the day, we drew in it. The positives are we could have lost. It does feel like a loss because I don't feel we were certified in it, but we could have lost. It's a draw. We move in it. The less said about it, the better. That game sums up our season more or less. You know, inability to break down low blocks, inability to take the lead, inability to react. You know, it's a bit of a poor. It's a poor one, people. It's a poor one. And actually, you're seeing the news about the European Super League. I'm not talking about that today because I'm just not in the mood, people. I can't cap to you lot. Like, I'm not in the mood for these things. I actually just want to switch off from football. Like, I've got some Spanish football loaded. I'll watch the Spanish football. I'll watch something away from it. In fact, from Arsenal. Like, I just hate doing Arsenal watch-alongs. You know me, I'm the most giddy of guys when we're not doing Arsenal, people. You know, when we're talking about other stuff, it's cool, people. Is what it is, man. It is what it is. We hold that L. We go again in it. I say we go again. Go again to what, though? Is what it is, man. That's the player ratings, folks. So, yeah, man. Eddie high 6. Wouldn't mind that, fam. Like, after today, why not? If Laka and Oba are out, then Martinelli has to be the central guy. Facts. Facts. I don't blame you. Trust me, my guy. I don't think Laka was a 4. People expect too much from Martinelli, 100%. Should it, bro? I hear that. But it didn't look like Ceballos was calling for that, man. 6 for Martinelli, a stretch. I don't think so, but you're allowed that. 6 for Martinelli, 5, 6/7. This is why I like it. We're all allowed opinions. No one's right, no one's wrong. I can't lie. I was seeing several players get onto Martinelli about releasing the ball, man. So yeah, man, I can't lie, people. We've done a bag of talking. We've been here just over an hour. I'm sure you lot will forgive me for not really wanting to harp on any more about Arsenal. So I'm going to get out of here, people. Please make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't already, folks. So what are we on? We're on 183. Can we get that to 200? I'm live tomorrow, folks. I'm going to show you lot in a second, if it allows, man. Share screen. Now, here we go. Let's click on that. View on YouTube. It is what it is, folks, man. Please make sure you're here. It'll be a proper thumbnail in a hot sec, man. I don't know why it says 11:30 p.m., bro. But as you lot can see, mistake being made. So, yeah, as you lot can see, Mr. Analytical is on me. It'll be 11:30 a.m. It says p.m. there. Ak is on me as well. So, yeah, people, the link's there. I'll be back again at 11:30. We'll speak about the game more when the emotions have died down and that. Yeah, man, I appreciate you lot, man. Love for you lot, man. I appreciate you lot. Win, lose, or draw. One thing that gives me praise is that you're always here, always supporting. We've always got time for football, man. Really expect that, man. Come on, man. You're right, Valentine. You're right, man. Can't get drawn out, but allow me. Arsenal's drawing me out, so I'm just on this. I wish, Tobes, man. You lot are killing me. But yeah, man, it's time to get out of it. We held the L in it. Take care, everyone. We held the L. Dan, love for that. We're out of here, man. I'm out of here, man. Less said about Arsenal, the better.